Welcome, all you lovely Taurians, to your June monthly, where we've been looking at the chakras each month, starting off, of course, the root chakra in January, and now we're up to the 6 months already here in 2022, and we're into the third eye chakra. So we're going to be looking at and focusing on this month, how can you strengthen your intuition? What advice from the Creator will help you develop your spiritual gifts and your intuition? And of course, and then whatever else the Creator wants you to know about the month of June. So we're going to start off with these energy oracle cards, and just a side note, whatever cards I use in a reading, I do list in the description box below. All right, so we're going to give these a quick shuffle and just see what general energy for the month of June. First of all, so we'll check in with this. There we go. All right, so for our Taurians, what would you like them to know about the month of June? All right, there we go. And you have Happy Family, card number 4. This is such a Taurian energy as well, so not a surprise there. Put it right there. And let's just read and see what that brings in here. Yeah, closeness, fun, and caring. The rainbow over this happy family portends a time of joy and celebration. Close connections are available, so don't overlook the fun and frivolity that a friend or family experience can bring. The value that you find in a truly loving relative or friend brings a higher vibration to your life force. You may be distracted or busy, but remember to put this part of your life in the forefront of your priorities. If you're single, finding this card in your spread could indicate a potential meeting with someone who has children from a previous marriage. This ready-made family might bring some challenges, but it could be your destiny in this lifetime. This card may also simply signify a celebration coming up, such as a wedding anniversary or birthday party. Enjoy. So I love this energy around this because, you know, of course, a general reading. So, you know, this could mean so many different things in just a regular, your June unfolding, June weddings, you know, June get-togethers, family celebrations, whatever it might be. But for the subject of intuition, this is such an important piece because spirit communicates at a frequency of unconditional love and joy and laughter and peace. And so when you focus in on those events, when you focus in on those energies, that raises your energy and your frequency to that of the spirit world, which is what allows you to hear more clearly above the regular chaotic noise of fear of the external world, everything that's going on. So this beautiful rainbow and happiness and surrounding yourself with things that help raise your vibration to that is like the advice that you're being given around strengthening your intuition. And if you're new to my channel, what I do each month too is I take a tarot deck and I split off the major arcana from the 4 suits of the minor arcana. And the major arcana are like this card. It represents the overall energy for the month. And I'll talk about the minor arcana when I get to those. Let me just give these a little mix. All right, so for our Taurians, what else would you like them to know about the month of June, their intuition growth? There we go. And you have a temptation, card number 15. This is normally like the devil card or the shadow card in the standard tarot. And this is a great card to have here too, because this is about realizing that there are 2 sides of your experience here. You do come here on purpose, for a purpose, to experience your shadow, to experience the opposites of who you really are. So you don't have to battle against this. And I love this message coming in here because, you know, a lot of times our spirituality will tell us we must destroy the ego. We must destroy, you know, all this and invest all our energy. Once we defeat the ego, then we can move on to spiritual stuff. And it's like, no, they are 2 totally inclusive things, but separate things at the same time. And let me explain that, because like I said, we are, it's like the yin yang, you know, if you can see my ring here. you know, the shadow is this earthly experience. So the dark one is the earthly experience, but there's a little white dot in there, which is this our spiritual side, our connection to the spiritual world. Same thing, the white is our spiritual, powerful being that we are, and it has a piece of the shadow in there, because the shadow, our shadow, is a small piece of ourselves. It's the tour guide of ourselves that takes us on this adventure through this fear amusement park. It understands what's going on, and you know, behind the scenes and below the surface. And it takes us on this journey. It tries to keep us in the game and going through this adventure as much as possible, because that's what we wanted it to do. But there's a point in it that we start to awaken and remember the larger part of ourselves, that, you know, we are this character that's walking around upon this earth, but the actor behind this character is this powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. And that's the piece that you're focusing in on. One is a lower vibration of conditional love. It's all a love vibration. It's just a lower level for us to experience what we came here to experience. But we can also raise our vibration, raise our frequency, and communicate more and more and more to the spiritual world. So I love this message coming through, because it's, you know, you can spend your whole life trying to defeat the shadow, but it's a piece of ourselves. We can never destroy it. It's why we came here. It has its purpose, but we can instead focus our energy on the connection and purposely raising our vibration. Not, I must, you know, get rid of the noise. It's like, nope, you just, it's like being in a, like, I was going to say like a hard rock, acid rock bar with it really loud, but they showed me instead that it's like when you're standing next to a waterfall, you can't stop the noise of, you know, the water hitting the ground and how loud it can be. You just walk away from the waterfall to a quieter place, and then you can hear. So there we go. And then we're going to move into the four suits of the minor arcana for more details. And the four suits of the minor arcana really represent the four different areas of our human experience, our human expression here. We're going to start off with the fire element, which is normally the wands suit in the standard tarot, but in this deck they actually go by the element, and so this is fire. This represents your drive, your ambition, your inspiration, and your energy. So this is just going to be what the creator wants you to know about your energetic experience during the month of June. And, you know, especially, like we said, growing your intuition. Okay, and they want just this one right here. Okay, that is just one. And you have the five of fire. So the five of fire, the five of wands, also in the regular standard tarot, this represents the perception of conflict. And what I mean by the perception of conflict is all the fives talk about a change in how we are perceiving something. And the five of wands starts off, usually there's like these five people with these five staves, and they're all battling each other. And I always picture like this kung fu movie where, you know, it starts and they're all and they're just hurting each other and beating each other, and it's like, seems very like, oh my gosh, they're trying to kill one another. And then eventually it gets down to where one of them is standing and the other four are laying on the ground exhausted. And the other one, he's standing up, but he's barely standing up. And then they all just bust out laughing, and you're like, what is going on here? And they put away their staves and they walk down the path back to the monastery, go to the meal hall and have a meal together. And you're like, oh, wait a minute. This isn't them trying to hurt one another or kill one another. This conflict that I saw actually moves from this place of fear to this place of love, where you're realizing like, okay, it's not people trying to hurt one another. These were people who cared about one another and were training with one another to raise their skill level. And so this transformation of this energy of this conflict is really what's going to help here. And I really feel like that's that conflict of trying to destroy your shadow, your ego, to be able to have this experience. It's like, no, it's just a change of perception that allows you to open that up. We're also going to pull from these Return of Spirit cards and to see what else the Creator wants you to know about this energetic experience for June for you. But you do change from a place that feels like conflict and battling to this place of love instead. So what else? Okay, they want that one right there. So for Arcturians, yeah, shifting. Yep, energy shifting. So definitely a confirmation, and we'll read from the book here. I love how the author Cheryl Lee Harnish, she says things so well in here. It says our personal and spiritual growth occurs in a series of rhythms and patterns. When we reach a certain level of experience and understanding, life will move into a holding pattern as we master it. Things will fall into a steady, reliable pattern. We come to know what to expect and how things are going to be. And because we humans are creatures of comfort and habit, we usually enjoy hanging out on the plateau where things are familiar and reliable. This card has come to you today because you are either about to enter into or you're already in one of those great shifts. It's a necessary part of your growth and higher learning. So you're moving to a new level of consciousness and awareness. In order for this to happen, some of the old ways of life and of being must fall away to make room for the new. You may find yourself changing jobs or careers. Old friends or relationships may drift away as new people enter your life. You may move to a new home or have a sudden change in finances. On an energetic level, which is what we're talking about, your consciousness is opening to the hidden wounds you carry. More than likely, you're feeling very far out of your comfort zone, possibly even experiencing situational depression. And this shift is vital and necessary. So remain as calm as you can while the earth shakes under your feet. You will find yourself quite pleased with this new consciousness and way of being once this shift is complete. In the meantime, try to stay open as these changes occur. It may not feel comfortable, but you will come through it as a more evolved and stable person. Yes, this stability comes in with the shift of perception, what we were talking about. So I love that. And where this is your spirit, which is internal, and then we're going to be talking next after this next stack. We're going to be talking about your mind and your emotions. All that's internal. This next one, the Earth or the Pentacle suit in Standard Tarot, represents your outside world. This is the only one that's about the outside. The rest of them are internal. And so this is all those beings that are on stage with you, the characters that are on stage, all the props, your body, your possessions, everything going on in the physical world. So this is what the Creator wants you to know about your physical adventure during the month of June. And of course, the strengthening your intuition. So any information for Arcturians here? This, of course, is your element, earth sign, so nothing to fear here. And you got the 5 of Earth. So another 5. So the shift that's happening does make its way out into the physical world. So that is actually good news. And what we talked about, this was a shift in perception of how you were seeing the energy being from conflict of fear to one of love. The transition that happens in the Pentacles or the Earth, is about how you are defining your worth by the outside world. Usually you'll see like someone hobbling with another person. They're walking barefoot in the snow. One person has a crutch and is wounded. The other person has like a wound on their head, and they are outside like a church where they feel like they're not getting any support from the outside world, and there's these feelings of abandonment. But the transition that happens in the perception is that there's a stained glass window on there with 5 pentacles on it, and that represents the spiritual world. It represents the Creator, the universe. And the transition that happens is they realize that all their needs come from the Creator, who is unlimited, has limitless resources, and the conditions that it has for the Creator to give to us is zero, because it's unconditional love the Creator has for us. And so there's this trust that builds up, and the foundation of the worth changes to having it based on the unconditional love of the Creator rather than from what they're going to be getting from the outside world. So there's a beautiful awareness of this change that happens. And you realize that people, when they bring things to us, they're just the shipping company. They're just the delivery man or woman, delivery person, right? They are, it's like you order something from Amazon and UPS delivers it. Well, UPS isn't the one that is providing it for you. They're just the one that's bringing it to you. Amazon was the one that was sending it to you, right? So there is this transformation that happens with that. So I love that worth is being reinforced there. And we're also going to pull from this elemental oracle and just see what else the Creator wants you to know. But your physical adventure. Okay, well, they want that one right there. They said you don't need to shuffle. And you've got gravity, groundedness. Yep, very much like it was talking about becoming grounded here, and that's card number 39. Open right to it. This is seek a grounded perspective. So gravity is the natural force that causes all things with mass and energy to be attracted to each other. So this includes planets, galaxies, light, and yes, even apples. The famous story about Isaac Newton and the apple actually did happen, but not in the way most people think. While there's no evidence of a young Isaac being bumped on the head by a falling apple, he was sitting in the orchard and observed an apple falling from a tree. He noticed every apple fell the same way, straight down, not sideways or somewhere else impeded, and he wondered why. And that inspired him to formulate the law of universal gravitation, which states that every body in the universe is attracted to every other body with a force that is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. His famous apple tree continues to grow in Woolsthorpe Manor. Newton wasn't the first scientist or great thinker to consider there was such a thing as gravity. The ancient Greek philosopher Archimedes proposed that there was a center of gravity within a triangle. The ancient Indian mathematician, I'm probably going to murder his name, it's Aryabhata, Aryabhata, proposed in the 5th century that there was a force that stopped objects being thrown into the air as the Earth rotated. And then later Galileo showed that gravitational acceleration is the same for all objects by throwing balls off the Tower of Pisa. So gravity still remains one of the most studied forces in physics. Gravity is a fantastic element to include in your workings for groundedness and when you feel untethered because of trauma or things going too fast. Breathing, putting your awareness in your feet and asking gravity to do its thing is a good, solid magic. And of course, the element of that is earth. So perfect for this, perfect for you. You are an earth sign. So this is very much your energy being grounded through the change and through the shifting here as well. So I love the groundedness. Like the centeredness is on this worth that's based on the unconditional love of the Creator. And then we're going to move into the air element, which is normally the swords suit in the Standard Tarot. And this is all the mind. So it's your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, your expectations. And this is going to be your mental adventure for the month of June. And let's see what else the Creator wants you to know about the power of your intuition and growing that, what they'd like you to know. Yep, King of Air. All the kings, in addition to their own element, also carry air. So you've got double air. This is a lot of mental activity that's coming in for you during the month of June. But the king, he's at the end of the suit, so he's experienced all of the mentalness. And one of the big lessons that he comes out of and that he offers you is this wisdom that we can be too much in our minds and making decisions strictly out of logic and out of our mind doesn't necessarily unfold in the highest alignment with our path, as well as making decisions totally from emotion either. So there's this balance that is coming in here between our emotions and our mind, between our fears and our spiritualness. We can be so spiritually minded we're no earthly good, and also so physically absorbed into our fears and distracted that we're no heavenly good, right? And so there's this balance that comes in, this ebb and flow of life that this is bringing in, letting you know it's a balance between your heart and your mind, and that it is this ebb and flow. So, we're going to go, more into one at one point and more into another, even like second by second. Sometimes it feels like, but it's okay. Don't judge yourself for it. It's part of our path, part of this fluctuation. But you do have the power, like it says, whatever you focus on is what grows. So whatever you're putting stuff on a balancer, like on a scale, if you're putting more things on this side, that one's going to go down farther. So whatever you're investing your energy in is what is going to carry the most weight in that moment. We're also going to pull from this numerology guidance cards just to see what else the Creator wants you to know about your mental adventure. And so what else for our Tauruses, please? Okay, they do want to that one right there. Yep, individuality, number 11. And we will read from the book on this one. And so this card indicates a need to embrace your individuality and be true to yourself, your authentic self. Rather than follow the crowd, you're being guided to break away from the pack and take the road less traveled. Instead of feeling like you're a square peg in a round hole, you're being encouraged to build your own square hole. So this card is coming to you because you're being called upon to step up to the plate and celebrate your uniqueness. At this time, you must have the courage to speak your truth and march to the beat of your own drum, despite the opinions of those around you. What others think of you isn't your business anyway, and it's impossible to please everybody, so you must focus on pleasing yourself. As you honor your individuality and feelings, you will reclaim your personal power and enhance your connection to Source. When you do so, you can make your dreams come true. So as you step into your power as your true, authentic self, you'll improve your relationships with others and your overall quality of life. And that makes sense because all the, this temptation here, our shadow, these are full of all these opinions, the popular opinions of the outside world. I call these small t truths, where, when you're looking at the balancing of things, the small t truths are all those that are rooted in the fear of the world, of the ego, like I was talking about the shadow. We fear rejection, but we're given all these popular opinions on the supposed to be, the should be, the need to be, the have to be, the must be. It's all these rules around lovability and acceptability. But the king, the thing that he learned, of course, too, because he usually have like the Ace of Swords with him, and that Ace of Swords allows you to connect to the capital T truths, to the higher truths of the spiritual realm, those of unconditional love. And also allows you to cut away the small T truths of the, shadow and the human side that are no longer serving you. Again, it happened on purpose, for a purpose. We come here. Our shadow is a part of us. We come here to experience it. But when we're ready, we are able to cut away those older thoughts and beliefs to allow us to move into a more higher spiritual awakening. So this individuality, this authentic self, that your authentic self is your higher self, that powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being that's made of unconditional love. And so this mentalness is this working out of these thoughts and these beliefs, in your life. So I love it. And then the final suit we're going to move in here is the water element, which is the cup suit in the standard tarot, and that represents your emotions. And so this is going to represent your emotional adventure during the month of June. So for Arcturians, what would you like them to know about their emotional adventure, please? Okay, put that one right there. Yeah, and you have the 9 of water. And of course, the 9s here, this is the 9 in the major arcana is the hermit, and the hermit is all about the internal search for wisdom. And with the 9 of cups, the 9 of water showing up here, this is like a wish fulfillment, but it's an emotional fulfillment from searching inwardly, not outwardly. So this is the outward search. This is the inward search. So this is all about, yes, as you dig and you find this individuality, connect to your higher self, you get to connect to that unconditional love, which is what you're really searching for. And the more you do that, the more you open up to this. And this is when you feel that emotion. And I know I usually tell like my friends, I go, I'm a spiritual vibration junkie, because when I do readings and I, channel that beautiful world of spirit, of unconditional love and light, I get to feel the floods of that energy. And I'm like, when you're in that, it's like being in a hot tub, right? Where you feel so surrounded by warmth and you're relaxing and it's peaceful. And, compared to jumping into an ice bath, it's like, it's such a wonderful feeling to have. And then we're going to move into the Queen of the Moon Oracle. And because this is the last card that we're pulling for your reading, it can be more information about your emotional adventure, but we're also going to allow it to be just this wild card. It can be whatever else the Creator wants you to know about the month of June. And one more time. All right, so what else for our Taurians, please? Okay, they want this one right here. And you have the 9, assessing. So another 9 above the other 9. And this very much feels like the Hermit card, where you're looking internally, because it even has this little bright light here. And usually that Hermit card will have them having a lantern, and this light that it has like a star inside the lantern. That represents you, your higher self. So pretty much sums that up here, but we're going to also read from the book here to see what other messages pop up for you. And it says, it is time to assess your current position. You can make sure your blind spots are revealed and that you are honest with others and yourself. Right? The authenticity. Sometimes the hard decision is the best decision. You should be able to assess and move quickly based on that assessment. There's like a little affirmation for this card. It says, I am enjoying moving and choosing, which talks about your power of choice. You have begun your journey, and now it's time to assess where you are and what to do next. You've made a decision. You've worked and walked the path for some time, and yet you understand that in every journey it's a wise action to check the map. Sometimes we go along on a pathway and we keep going, even if it seems like that way is no longer the right way for us. Sometimes we feel we've gone too far to turn around, and so we settle on a journey and a destination that doesn't really suit us or satisfy us. However, if we had just had some courage, we could have reassessed as we went and perhaps ended up somewhere else, somewhere better. Now is the time to look carefully at all aspects of your life, especially the areas in which you have set some intentions or goals. Ask yourself, do I still want these things? Do I still want that same end result? If the answer is no, then ask yourself, what can you do to maintain momentum and head towards what you now desire? Although it doesn't seem terribly glamorous, assessment has a high payoff for us if we bother to do it well. Doing it well means we really look hard at how things are going. All of us have some kind of blind spot, so it's worth exposing this by consulting a trusted friend or finding where negative repeating patterns are and looking for the cause. Shining a light on a blind spot and taking action to shift it is one of life's big catalysts for change. And the companion stone or metal for this is azurite. So azure, right? A-Z-U-R-I-T-E. So if you're into crystals, that can also help you with that. But I love this. So this is assessing, understanding where you're at, because this shift that is coming here does involve, and I understand why there's so much mind in here, because you are really looking into these beliefs and these perceptions that you've been having around your shadow. And I love the story of the Strength card too, because it has usually a lion on it with a maiden, and the lion represents our shadow, our human side, and the maiden usually has a infinity symbol on her, which represents your higher self, your spiritual self. And I love the story that Spirit gave me around the card, because we do sometimes feel like I must tame that lion, and sometimes the card even, will show that they're holding the lion's mouth open or doing something. But Spirit was showing me that the lion, our human side, is so hungry because it's told this temptation, everything that we're looking for is out there in the world, relationships and situations and things and money and our bank accounts and our bodies. Those things are what are going to make us feel whole and complete. That leaves us feeling disappointed and lacking. And what the lion is truly hungering for is the unconditional love of back home. And that maiden, she is our higher self. She is made of unconditional love. And so she's able to give the lion what it is looking for to make it whole and complete. And I love that with this. They wanted me to mention that because we don't want to destroy our shadow. We want to we're able to give the fulfillment and tame the lion by giving what it's truly hungering for. When it's so desperate, so hungry and thirsty, it's roaring in the jungle, and it's, becoming very, out of its mind. I call it hangry, angry. It's so hungry, so desperate. It just wants to eat whatever it can, and it feels very desperate, right? But when we are able to give the love of the other realm to it, then that's what makes it feel whole and complete. So we don't have to destroy it, but we can actually embrace it and give it what it needs, and we can walk together hand in hand instead of being at odds. So I love this message that came through here for you. I don't have anything else to add, but if you are looking for more messages of love from above, in addition to these monthly readings for each zodiac sign, I also put out weekly energy updates for each zodiac sign and a few other types of videos throughout the month. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those messages and be notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click this like button, also click the subscribe button, and that gives you access to this notification bell. And when you go in there, if you select the all option, then you'll be notified of any new videos that come out on this channel. Also, doing those things helps spread the love, and it helps my channel grow in a great way, because when you like a video, you share a video, you subscribe to a channel, or comment on a video, doing those things makes the YouTube algorithm so excited it wants to share the videos of that channel with other people as well. So if you feel inspired to do any of those things, I am very, very grateful for that. Also, these are general readings. If you're looking for even more specific information for your specific life, I do offer personal readings, and all that information is listed in the description box below. All right, all you Taurians, as you go through this amazing month, please know that every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing month, but I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. And in the meantime, you hang in there and you take care.